no, my wife told me about it first this morning. And then MSNBC had a segment, what I'm sure was an impromptu segment on OJ, talking about his life. It was, as expected, because obviously they celebrate OJ for his superstar athleticism and his stellar football career, but then they, hop the fence and go on the other side and start talking about his criminal antics too. So,
right,
alleged criminal antics.
Alleged criminal antics. That's right. Thank you, Z. Yeah. Well, I guess we know that OJ was in the in the hotel trying to take his shit back. I mean, we can't refute that. You know what I mean? But the other thing, the bigger thing, yes, allegedly.
A few moments later.
But you know what was interesting? The MSNBC story that I was listening to earlier, they said that they were trying to give him 30 years for trying to just steal back or take back memorabilia that he claimed to be his. Who the fuck gets 30 years for stealing memorabilia that has their face on it and their name on it?
Okay.
So they were saying that perhaps this was an opportunity to get some recompense for, the bigger issue. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the bigger alleged issue. So, or alleged crime. I'm sorry.
When did he get not guilty? 95 or 96?
I think it was 95. I believe it was 95. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I just remember watching it.
Yeah, I remember.
I didn't watch the whole trial or nothing. I just want to know if he was going to be found guilty or not guilty.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, the glove didn't fit.
You must have quit. I remember that shit too. And when they found him not guilty, and I'm at an HBCU, I'm at Norfolk State University. Do you know the halls of Norfolk State University was like
went crazy?
Man, it was a win for Black people.
Yeah, it was. Or to me at the time, I felt that it wasn't necessarily a win, but it was an opportunity for Black people, even in that short fleeting moment, to feel what justice is, or to experience what justice is when the scale tips in our favor,
because I've never felt that before.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
What was it that we got to feel what justice was, or was it that perhaps for the first time or on a rare occasion we got to feel the privilege of injustice work to our favor?
Yeah, that's a way to look at it too. Yeah,
that too.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I don't think I really thought about that. Go ahead, Z. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, I feel like OJ was a great equalizer. Like Black people, he became such a symbolic win. And it was almost like a smack in the face to them after we had been getting, feel like we've been getting smacked for like 500 years. So I feel like, OJ just was, it was more symbolism and everything. Like we got behind the Black guy, like they got behind, the white family.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But in all honesty, if I'm keeping it like if I'm keeping it like 1,000%, man.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the parents of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ryan Goldman, because no parent should have to go through life or whatever living it without their child. And
absolutely,
I could only imagine. I mean, that elephant's always in the room. Whenever I even joke about like the whole OJ situation, like my heart does truly go out to the parents of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ryan Goldman.
Yeah.
That having been said, OJ was basically retired by the time I was born. I was born in 83.
Mm-hmm.
So I never rooted for OJ on the field.
Right.
But I damn sure rooted for OJ off the field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It
was just that sort of alignment, man, because Black people Black people very rarely get the opportunity to throw something in white people's faces as egregious as the OJ verdict appeared to be, at least to white people.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. I was thinking about this earlier, Z, and you bring up a good point when you say it in the context of the great equalizer, because I was thinking to myself, I was like, yeah, it was horrific, you know, for the loss, you know, whoever committed that, you know, sort of that horrific crime against Nicole Brown, and was it Ron Goldman? Am I saying their names right? But in that moment, it did serve as a great equalizer, because guess what? How many of our ancestors were lynched and hung, right? And burned at the stake, right? And castrated, and done so in a public forum whereby all these white folks would come out on a Sunday after church and stand around this fire to watch black bodies swing.
Pick a
right?
nigga.
So I'm not saying that it's right. It's horrible. But in that moment, welcome to how we might feel, white folks. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was very, very interesting, to say the least. You know,
it was interesting, the fact that it was all these different people that was against the whole situation. Like, you know, you got white lawyers, you got white judges, you got white police officers, you got all these white people that work together on a regular basis to get people locked up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's their job. They sat down and say, yo, this is what we're going to do to niggas. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're going to do to black people and stuff. And this guy, this mighty savior, this mighty equalizer main man, Johnny Cochran, and his team, you know, just annihilated. Studied law so precise that he was able to annihilate everything that they were putting at him. That was a moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
We learned from that shit, huh? Celebrating too much for you know what I'm saying? OJ.
In a very succinct but direct statement, if the glove doesn't fit,
you must have quit.
You must have quit. And with that,
that was a moment.
That case fell right over on its side. You know what I mean?